Rolling coverage of the Queensland flood emergency as it unfolds, and authorities have now confirmed the death toll has risen to 14 following the discovery of a man's body in Brisbane. Now, the details that we have is it appears the 24-year-old was sucked into a drain in Durack. To the latest developments now, 70 people are still missing, including 12 people who disappeared at Murphy's Creek. Also, messages of support from right around the world are continuing to flood in on social networking sites, which is great news. Gundawindi residents are preparing for the worst, with the river there expected to peak later tonight, so it's still not over for residents there. We also know more than 4,000 locals remain in evacuation centres. Many are expected to stay there for some time as well, and temporary mobile phone towers are now being erected in parts of Brisbane. Going across live to Melissa Mallett, who's in Channel 9's helicopter above Brisbane. Melissa, you've actually been out and about in other parts of the state over the last couple of weeks covering the floods for us here at 9. This, I understand, is your first look at the city, is that right?
Yeah, Wendy, that's right. And I've got to tell you, I'm amazed and bewildered at what we're seeing. You know, we've seen terrible scenes out west, and we've been really worried, I guess, about how Brisbane's doing, being so far away. And coming up, looking at this now, it's really breathtaking. You know, we've got the CBD over there, which is more or less has been shut down. You know, so many people are usually in there at this time of day. It's more or less a ghost town, and the river is just sitting steady, still at 4.45 metres. It's dropping slightly upstream, but it is truly a sight. South Bank, which, you know, should at this time once again be just chaotic. You know, there's scenes of the river that's just creeping and bleeding into some of our usually busiest streets. It really is something else. Yeah, South Bank there on the left of our screen that we're seeing now. You've got water that's crept up a good 20 metres from where it normally is. Yeah, it really has. It's gone. We're just over South Bank, and you can see that's South Bank parklands there, and there's a beach that now resembles some sort of island, and it's creeping into that very busy South Bank business district, into West End, into all of the shops that are usually right along there. And you know, I don't think people ever thought they would see something like this again. I mean, of course, South Bank wasn't around all those years ago, but this is truly spectacular to see. You can see the wheel there, and that took a very, very big hammering, and, you know, boats are just hanging in there along the river. Yeah, you're hovering over where, of course, Channel 9 had our flood relief appeal only on Sunday at the piazza there, and now it's a no-go zone. Yeah, that's right. And, you know, to look back now, I guess we thought that we perhaps had seen the worst of it when we were down there at the piazza, but we had no idea what was to come, as I guess the whole city of Brisbane, you know. So what we saw a week ago has just grown tenfold. You know, that's the piazza. You can see that big white roof there, and you can see the apartments alongside there. Of course, those residents are up high, but obviously they've been evacuated too because they just can't get out. So it really is incredible. I guess for other viewers that are not in Queensland, the Brisbane River is a little like the Yarra River, say in Melbourne. You walk along the Yarra River, you've got restaurants, you've got apartment blocks right along there, and you've also got in Brisbane, similar to the Yarra, you've got a boardwalk where you can walk. You can't actually see it there, but you can walk right along the riverbanks, past South Bank and further down the city in both directions, and you cannot see any sign of that boardwalk right now. Oh no, you'd never know it even existed right now, you know, and to think that, you know, it should be out just past those freeways and the likes, but, you know, there's definitely no action along what, you know, usually we would see hundreds of people using these walkways, you know, and it's not just along this Brisbane River, but you know, right down along New Farm as well. But, you know, all of these bridges, underneath them, that's where the walkway usually is. So you can see that it's completely disappeared, and yeah, there's just that river has just taken its toll. You know, I can't quite believe these pictures. As I say, it's the first time I've seen it, and you know, you think you're prepared for what's to come, but it's really amazing. You can see that bits of the road are just peeking out through this monstrous river right now.
Yeah, you can't even see the boardwalks. When I went to uni at QUT for a while there, and they're the boardwalks that you used to get off the ferry. You would jump on the ferry, go down there, get off the ferry, and then walk a fair distance to the uni. Well, all of that has disappeared, and you can't see any of it at the moment.
No, Wendy, I'm with you. I went to QUT as well there, and that's exactly what I used to do as well. And gee, you would never ever get across that right now. It's amazing to think that how much it's affected, you know. And QUT is such a major part of the CBD there, but it's a ghost town, and you can see where the water's creeping in right now amongst the CBD. We've got apartment blocks, businesses. It's just street after street are awash with the river.